Louis Breland has played a central role in reshaping the landscape of Madison County through large-scale mixed-use communities that combine residential living, retail, and commercial growth. Over several decades, his projects have expanded the local tax base, attracted national retailers, and helped position North Alabama as a destination for long-term investment. Louis Breland is the president, CEO of Breland Companies. He is responsible for many commercial and mixed-use development projects that have become key economic assets to the Huntsville-Madison metropolitan area. His work on Clift Farm and Town Madison is an example of his ongoing commitment to master-planned communities that will enable continued regional growth. The real estate development and homebuilding career of Louis Breland began on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi and Alabama. He came to understand during his early 1980s visits what an emerging community Huntsville would be and how its development was inevitable, due to its level of progress and opportunity that existed at that time. These early trips to Huntsville planted the seeds for the construction of new North Alabama communities. Over the years he continued to build homes and became the largest independent homebuilder in Alabama and sold his homebuilding business to publicly held companies. Each time he sold his business was an additional milestone in his successful career, both for the magnitude of his efforts as well as his operational management discipline. Building and selling Breland homes established a platform from which Breland would move into commercial and mixed-use developments in the future. Breland's experiences in the homebuilding industry would be used again as he entered into the commercial and mixed-use development industries and showed him that his continued emphasis on structured growth would always have a much more long-term positive outcome than any growth he achieved through getting big fast. Two projects stand out in the portfolio of Louis Breland developer, Clift Farm and Town Madison. Both are large master-planned communities spanning more than 500 acres and featuring thousands of residential units alongside retail and dining destinations. In his own words, he has said these communities have transformed the city of Madison and Madison County by adding housing, dining, and shopping options that improve quality of life while strengthening the local tax base. Town Madison, located near major transportation corridors, has become a commercial hub with national retailers and restaurants. Clift Farm offers a similar scale but with a distinct layout and tenant mix. Together, they represent a coordinated approach to growth that blends residential and commercial development rather than separating the two. National and regional tenants at these sites include Costco, BJ's Warehouse, Duluth Trading, Outback Steakhouse, J. Alexander's, Starbucks, Publix, Verizon, and Chick-fil-A. The presence of these brands signals confidence in the local market and helps anchor surrounding businesses. The scale of each project, with more than 5,000 residential units across multiple product types, demonstrates a long-term view of community building. Rather than focusing on a single segment, the developments integrate multifamily, townhome, and single-family housing. The economic influence of these developments extends beyond retail and residential growth. By expanding commercial activity and housing inventory, the projects contribute directly to the tax base of Madison County. Louis Breland Huntsville has emphasized that providing thousands of homes for a fast-growing community supports both economic and social growth. Increased housing supply allows new residents to relocate to the region, supporting workforce needs in industries such as defense, aerospace, and technology. According to the Madison Chamber of Commerce, regional development has been closely tied to infrastructure improvements and commercial expansion across the metro area. These types of mixed-use projects often serve as catalysts for surrounding investment, as described in reports by the Urban Land Institute, which highlight the long-term tax and employment benefits of master-planned communities. The Excellence in Leadership and Service Award presented to Louis Breland by the Madison Chamber recognized his advocacy and role in improving the city's tax base through Town Madison. Such recognition underscores the broader civic impact of private development. The leadership style of Louis Breland developer reflects a hands-on approach. He has described his company as a small team working hard to execute large projects. This structure allows for direct oversight and close coordination across phases of development. His building philosophy centers on quality homes at prices families can afford, achieved through sound fundamentals and strong quality controls. While large in scale, the developments rely on practical construction standards and disciplined planning. That focus on fundamentals has carried over into commercial real estate. Master planning, tenant selection, and infrastructure coordination are treated as long-term commitments rather than short-term opportunities. The Louis Breland Huntsville brand is closely associated with steady execution and consistent growth. Over time, this reputation has made it easier to attract major retailers seeking stable markets. Securing tenants such as Costco and Publix requires more than available land. National brands evaluate population growth, traffic patterns, median income levels, and long-term demographic trends. The ability of Clift Farm in town Madison to attract national chains reflects confidence in the Huntsville metro area. It also reflects a developer capable of delivering infrastructure, utilities, and coordinated site planning at scale. In many cases, the arrival of one major retailer creates a ripple effect. Restaurants and service providers often follow anchor tenants, increasing employment opportunities and consumer choice. Over time, this clustering contributes to sustained commercial growth. The projects developed by Louis Breland Huntsville have positioned Madison County as a competitive retail destination in the Southeast. This shift reduces leakage of consumer spending to neighboring markets and strengthens the regional economy. Louis Breland financially supports charity groups who assist foster youth, military first responders who become disabled while on duty, and veterans who have suffered injuries. As an example of his generosity is the donation of a 13,000 square featuring Building to Kids to Love, an organization which provides assistance to foster youth. This building will be used as the administrative and training center for the various Kids to Love services. Louis has also made a commitment to create homes for disabled veterans through supporting Helping a Hero. These examples illustrate different ways in which successful business owners can have a positive long-term impact on their communities. Development issues go beyond the physical aspects of building new projects and fixing old ones. It is also about improving the social infrastructure within the community so that everyone benefiting from these improvements will continue to live in those communities and obtain valuable jobs. Over nearly 5 decades in real estate, Louis Breland has moved from homebuilding to large-scale mixed-use development while maintaining a consistent focus on growth in North Alabama. Madison County should have its physical and economic characteristics transformed by Clift Farm in town Madison for years to come. The development plan of Clift Farm in town Madison speaks to a larger trend in the development of communities throughout America, the blending of residential, commercial, and public spaces. Huntsville is continuing to grow, as well as many cities in Alabama and other states in the region. The successful plan put forward by developer Louis Breland can serve as a guide to help our community balance residential growth with commercial investment. This type of community can provide steady tax revenues and jobs for people living in the community. Louis Breland Huntsville continues to have an active presence as it pursues new investment opportunities and aids other development activity in the surrounding area. Such continual engagement demonstrates that Louis Breland will continue to be involved not only with individual project-based activity but also with the larger property development environment. As Madison County grew into an economic hub, Louis Breland played a key role in its development through careful planning, tenacious tenant relationships and commitment to making long-term investments for future generations. The two main accomplishments of these efforts are Clift Farm and town Madison. However, we must recognize that there are many more projects Breland accomplished throughout North Alabama that have created new jobs for residents, increased the local tax base and provided an environment in which people want to live and work, thus allowing our region to continue growing into the foreseeable future. Breland's work on developing sustainable and community-oriented real estate can be seen when viewing the changes that have happened to the Huntsville area since the time Breland first began collaborating with the city of Huntsville.